My name is Siti Zahratul Amani Binti Ahmad Zamri. My metric number is 2018292002. My phone number is 01140335866. As shown in first slide, my research title is Estimating Movement Behaviour of Malayan Sambar, released in the Tembat Forest Reserve, Terengganu, using spatial analysis. My beloved supervisor is Dr. Muhammad Kamaruddin bin Zainul Abidin, and my co-supervisor is Mr. Muhammad Azam Akmal bin Abu Bakar. First of all, I will present on problem statement. In my research, I had been discovered a few problem statements. Malayan Sambar is the least research-based species in the world, since this species is least known compared to any other species. The lack of research of this species of the sambar is due to difficult access to the habitat of the sambar, low number of the individuals, and also due to the behavior of the sambar, which tends to be shy. Next, the problem of previous study is use the traditional method. Traditional methods are commonly performed to record the behavior of the sambar in the forest by using direct observation, which is the researcher need to walking through the forest and keep the close distance with the targeted animals by tracking its signs. In terms of practicality, these traditional techniques have lots of inconvenience and difficulty compared to the modern technique that offer more flexibility and timely efficient. The significance of this study is this study used an invasive approach since it did not cause any extreme harm to the animal. This study also able to help the researcher in studying the movement pattern of the sambar and also can help in analyzing the home range of the sambar. Hence, the researcher able to estimate the population of the sambar at the study area. There are three purposes of this study. First, the purpose of this study are to calculate the movement pattern of Malayan sambar. Second, to estimate distribution of various home range isoclines of Malayan sambar. And third, to estimate the movement behavior of sambar according to its movement pattern and distribution of home range isoclines. In this research, you will find a few terms such as sambar, spatial data, and home range. Sambar is the smallest bear among family Ursidae. Sambar are commonly found in Southeast Asia, including Borneo and Sumatra. The habitat of the sambar is primarily at the lowland of tropical forest. Sambar, also known as Malay bear, honey bear, and dog bear. Spatial data is a data with each representing a specific geographic location on the surface of the earth. Home range is the part of an animal's cognitive map of its environment that is used to keep updates. Home range, also known as the area in which the animal live and move in order to perform their daily basis. This secondary data analysis was conducted by using the data collected from Mr. Kamaruddin bin Zainul Abidin, Mr. Ahmad Azhar Muhammad, and Mr. Syukur Muhammad Noor. The research have determined the home range and activity pattern of two Malayan sambar released in the Tembat Forest Reserve, Terengganu. The pilot study was conducted in largest reserve forest in Terengganu, which is Tembat Forest Reserve in 2015. Sungai Deka is located in Forest Reserve and known as a forest that undergoes reforestation process following logging activities in 13 years ago. Sungai Deka was often chosen as a wildlife release area by Perhilitan to translocate rescued wildlife, which was focused on two rehabilitated sambar named Korean with ID code 1532 and Gube with ID code 1533. The bears were rescued from a conflict case and have been rehabilitated in the Perhilitan since they are cubs. Both bears are female orphan bears. Then both bears were released into the forest and equipped with GPS transmitter on their neck. The process of marking Korean and Gube have been approved by Perhilitan. Korean and Gube have been released into the Tembat Forest Reserve in 21st December 2015. From the study, there were 632 locations data collected from Korean and 270 location data were collected from Gube. As you can see from the slide, the research was started with data collection and data compilation process. Data collection process was conducted by releasing some bear into the forest and equipped with GPS transmitter on their neck. Then, from the data obtained after 4 months, the raw data was analyzed. The data obtained were then analyzed by using software, which is Biotas 2.0 Alpha. Movement distance, velocity, and turning angle were computed through movement analysis. The same software also been used to calculate 95% and 50% home range isoclines by using fixed kernel density estimator. As the result of the software, the average movement distance and average turning angle between isocline 50%, 95% and outside 95%, which is outside home range, were compared for both bear Korean and bear Gube. The last step of this study was estimates movement behavior of the two sun bears using the 4 components examined, which is home range isoclines, movement distance, velocity of the sun bears, and movement turning angles. In total, there were 632 locations of bear Korean were collected within 90 days from the release date. As for bear Gube, there were 280 locations were collected within 44 days of release. In this study, the home range of bear Korean is larger compared to the home range of bear Gube. Several factors contribute to the size of the habitat used by both individuals. The factors that could influence the habitat use are behavior and physical of the individuals, vegetation cover, human disturbance, and distance to food and water sources from the release area. As for behavior, the bear Korean has larger home range due to the high explorative behavior and survival attempt of the sun bear while encountering humans. In terms of explorative behavior, bear Korean was searching for new habitats, leading to a large home range. The large home range indicates the habitat that had been found might be not suitable due to the competition with other species, the presence of predator, and availability of the food sources at the other area. As for bear Gube, it has a smaller home range due to the physical condition of the bear and the age factors. The sun bear could have physical injury during the exploratory process and been limiting the bear's movement in searching for the availability of food and water sources. According to the components, which is turning angle and velocity, the movement behavior of the sun bears can be determined as stated by Zamri et al. In their journey in 2018. If the movement of the sun bear has low turning angle and low velocity, the behavior is in resting behavior. When the movement has low turning angle and high velocity, the sun bear is in walking behavior. When the sun bear has high turning angle and low velocity, the sun bear is in foraging behavior. However, the sun bear's movement behavior that been evaluated in this study is quite different as stated by Timori. As for Korean and Gobe, the bear is in foraging behavior in 50% isocline, while for isocline 95% and outside 95% is in walking behavior. The differences in terms of movement behavior of both sun bears occurs due to the sun bears are not familiar yet to the new environment and the new habitat since the sun bear just been released from the captivity.